Hey y'all, we are live for a little bit. I'm trying to have time to get through all these interviews. It's just taking me a while because life is crazy, but we're going to do one right quick and get that ended so we can move along because we have a lot to get through. Hey y'all coming in. All right. Music City Mom, Electro, My, Claus, Thor. Oh, good. I'm going to get through them before it gets crazy in here. Shama, MKK, Malicious, Chasing, Meg, Steph, Brianna, True Crime Knitter, Teresa, Natalie, Marcy, Lucy, Sherry, Stephanie, Rapunzel. You're working on a video game going over the profiling. Interesting. I don't know if you're being sarcastic or honk honk. Hey, Bree. Hey, Scout. Whispers in the Shadows, Kathy. Tiny Dancer. Josh B. Carla. Eek, you've been here for 2 months. Hey, Rainbow. Criminology. Laura. Josh. Tracy. Muffin Mouse. Monica. LA. Lady V. Gotcha. A one-way street. Okay, let's get through this. Let's get this done. Because I'm over so many people right now. I'm over everybody. I'm probably not in the best mood to be doing this today. People are just, chasing. Why am I not shocked? Why am I not shocked? I don't think anybody could shock me on this internet anymore at this point in time. I have lost all faith in humanity, but there we are. Okay, so we're going to, hey, Duchess, we're going to go back to, you sent me y'all, I am no shit. Like, I shouldn't even make excuses. Everybody should just know I don't fucking respond to messages. Well, I haven't even looked at Facebook in so long. I've not looked at my emails in so long. I'm like 60 deep and oh no. I'm 77 deep in text messages that I haven't responded to. Summer break wears me out just a little bit. So please excuse me. I am not punctual on messages, emails, anything like that. Hey, Lurker. Deanna, I will check it though. I promise you I will make time. Yesterday was my oldest daughter's 22nd birthday, so we spent it celebrating her. Hey, Gemini, Lurker, mother of 2 boys, Miss Fletcher, Pineapple. Yeah, so over it. Terry. Okay, good. You just sent it. Okay. Some of you have sent me messages a long time ago. I still have it. Hey, Sparrow. Hey, Penny. Coco. Trish. You're 22 calls and 51 messages deep. Let's see. Oh yeah, I have 68 missed calls. I know, right, Terry? And I have 392 emails in my personal email. Hey, true crime fanatic. Thank you. Well, what we're going to learn today on Seth Said is quite interesting. Hey, Remy. You aren't on break yet? Oh, we've been on break for a couple weeks now. Hey, Tina, pretty eye. You homeschool. Oh, yeah, that's a lot of work. Hey, Gigi. I am 41, Mick. Hey, Princess, and thank you for that. Hey, Rage Quit. Speaking of rage quitting, let's talk for a minute. Hey, T, Rebel Soul. They are, I'm almost at the time for a fill. You don't even talk to 77 people. I know. It's crazy. Hey, Betty Q. Hey, Jeff. Wendy. It's just one of those things, y'all. It's summer break. It's my family comes first, my kids' birthdays. It's just wild. Spooky pause. I get in the groove and then I it's totally thrown off. Hey, Sheila. Today is National Hug Your Cat Day. Well, thankfully I've hugged you. The unread emails. Oh, dear. Hey, Dynamite. Ooh, breakfast for dinner. I know Rage Quit's an excellent handle. Okay. So first and foremost, I have missed a whole hell of a lot over the weekend. I'm good with it because truthfully, nothing fucking changed. Nothing did besides worse speculation, more misinformation. You know, the true typical wash, rinse, repeat out here. But we're going to continue to do what we've been doing and going back to through the interviews, like completely looking at what was actually said because people seem to just discount it. But at the end, if you stick around, you'll see part of how this misinformation starts. Queen Bee, last night I caught just a section of her live stream, but they were pulling out allegations that Sweetie Pilo made on April 9th. We talked about those on April 10th. I am shocked. There's so much that's been going on that it's hard to keep up with things, but I think it's a good reminder that people probably don't even understand how we got here. And it's really important to see how the team members aligned. So we're going to go back. So we did the JLR interview from March 22nd. There's actually another interview that goes in between these. It's from the lab. So we're going to start there. But at the end, I have a treat for you. And we're going to bring Miss Sweetie Pilo and Reverend Donna back into the picture for a moment so I can show you guys a little bit. Kathy, thank you. Yeah. This morning, did any of you catch me on Granny's this morning? Granny's probably going to get to the point where she's not going to let me have that link, but I got off before I went the fuck off. But let me just say, Jay for Justice, you are scum. Complete and utter scum. That's it. Sorry, not sorry. I'm not apologizing anymore. First of all, chicken shit blocks me because I corrected the fact that she platformed a fake dog handler and was running with that. Then she blocked a bunch of other people. But then she's in Granny's today, thinking, oh, what's the newest shit I can run with? What can I gather up in this fucking comment section to make into something that it's not? So she's sitting there. I can't see her because she's got me blocked, but I saw people responding to her. So I'm like, wait a moment. Are they saying what I think they're saying? But I couldn't see. And of course, I couldn't ask any questions. So I fucking took that link. Granny probably just grimaces when I hit that link. I hop on there and I asked, is this really happening right now? Like, is she saying that she reached out to Katie's potential foster family, which I don't even know who she's attempting to say that would have been. But first and foremost, there's regulations over minors, and she would have been a minor. But the audacity of these people to think that they can reach out to family members for a statement about what? About what? And that it's just glanced over. No big deal, right? No big deal. No big deal, right? So because they have a missing child, it means fair game. You can just do whatever they want to. And she sure as hell admitted, yeah, she reached out to who she thinks is a potential foster family for a statement. To re-victimize her again? Like, what are you people doing? Mr. Tomato Head, I was so blown away when I popped on that panel and I was like, wait, is this actually what's happening? Criminology looks that way. Yeah. Yeah. But how ridiculous. And I'm sorry, I don't play nice. Once I see you as a piece of shit, you're a piece of shit. Like, there's no going back from that for me. Like, it's just what it is. Sorry, not sorry. These people don't change. They just pivot to the next bullshit. So let's go ahead and get into this so I can show you some of the fun. So this is actually going to be from the lab from March 20th. And by the way, Brittany, if you have your mods watching me like normal because you're fucking wanting to wear my skin, you weird bitch, you'll get highlighted at the end too. Don't worry. I got you. I got a perfect example of how misinformation spreads. But just so you are aware, you've had it incorrect all along about whose interview was her first and what was going on. I mean, it's not hard to timeline shit, but anywho, this one here, this was him showing up on Josh's, is from the 20th of March. Just a little help out because he can't seem to be consistent on anything. All right, let's get into it. I'm going to fast forward to the 10-minute mark. Trevor Lee's going to join him. I want you to hear what Trevor Lee had to say in the beginning of this. Again, not even a month after he went missing, but I want you to hear what's being said. And then Seth's going to join. And then this one isn't super long. We're only going to watch that piece of it. And then we're going to move right along.
Plus, I kept dropping out. And so
oh, by the way, this is all under fair use, Josh. This is called commentary on your poor behavior and the misinformation you put out here publicly. You want to blame somebody and threaten to strike somebody? Buckle up. I mean, I've been threatened so many times in the last couple of weeks. I'm pretty much over it. But this is for educational purposes because I don't find anything entertaining about a missing child. All right, let's go with the gumball.
I just left. I had to leave, not out of anger, not out of it. I just kept dropping out. Plus, Smiley was doing her thing, and I did not want to interrupt, and I'm sure that I did.
Oh, and Smiley's interview with Chris and Katie is from this same day. So tomorrow, as long as I have time, we'll be reviewing Smiley's that happened earlier in the day with Chris and Katie. So you can see where a lot of their misinformation began.
I apologize about that. I really do. And it was just, I truly do believe that he's in this spot of most people don't believe me, so who cares? I'm going to tell you what I tell you. He's in this mindset. I'm doing what I'm doing.
He's talking about Chris, of course, because he went up on Slimey's, took the link and tried to get Chris to lie or claim that Chris was lying when in reality that didn't happen.
I'm good, and
I think pretty much everything about him at this point in time. I didn't know about his After Dark channel. None of you guys told me about that. And I found that the other day on my own. There's no unseen what I see at this point in time, Jeff. There is a lot of questions I have.
Kind of backs up against the wall. And if they are truly innocent, and they may or may not be, I don't know. You would think that
let's fast forward him. Speed him up.
It wouldn't be such a struggle to kind of get just kind of basic answers, I guess. It certainly will. It certainly will. So that's what I'm saying. I understand that. I get that. I'm not like, that's not.
MK, thanks for the gifted memberships. Appreciate you so much. Welcome to the Cabana, all of you. Sarah, thank you for joining the membership. Y'all, thank you so much. Welcome to the Cabana, where we don't give a fuck except about the truth and the families that are being exploited.
That, to me, that's normal, vilification. Trevor, how's it going, man? What's up?
You're good stuff.
Oh, it's going. Wow.
So
what What a
Yeah,
thing.
I thought you were headed off to night night, but yeah. I mean, what do you think? I don't know.
That was a lot. I'm not gonna say I was surprised, but some of what I heard did surprise me. Some was very sad to hear.
Well, I'll tell you. Let's just put it out there. I mean, the fact that he admits to whipping him.
So first and foremost, you'll notice the terms that they use. So Chris never said the word whipping. That didn't come out of his mouth. But this is how sensationalism happens. This is how they build the foundation of selling you a story. They use amplified terms. They make it into a bigger situation than it is. This is going back, pointer lever, to March 20th. We're going back through all of Seth's initial interviews, and he'll come on in just a minute. But it's very, very important that people understand that that's intentional. The sensationalism is intentional to sell you a story.
With a belt is not good to hear. It's not nice to hear.
Okay.
But yeah, not and also allegedly nicking him or hitting with a belt because he forgot his belt.
See, I thought it was for a different reason, but the reason's really immaterial to me. I think he said it was because of a lie that he told or something like that. But I just don't find I mean, he's a special needs boy. And
again, attempting to diminish him to a diagnosis doesn't work for me. I'm over it. That's ridiculous. He is a capable 15-year-old teenager.
Can't imagine that there are counselors out there like condoning that, saying, hey, yeah, that's the way that you deal with them.
Corporal punishment is still allowed in many states. Whether I agree with it or not is irrelevant because everybody's parenting style is different. Sebastian wasn't diagnosed until October of 2023. Do I still think that there's problems with it? Yes. Was it a one-time incident? According to what we have learned, yes, a one-time pop on the butt with a belt by Chris. However, they completely have looked over all of the things that Seth has admitted to doing.
I don't know. He said it was because he lied about something. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter why, to me.
It doesn't matter.
This isn't 1934. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and he's okay. So he's going to be the one that really highlights.
Seth's here, by the way. How you doing, Seth? Good to see you, man.
If Chris is going to be the one that really sticks out at all the things that Sebastian can't do, or the downfalls with his autism, then you're not going to be able to then justify that kind of discipline, in my opinion.
Yeah, I do believe it. So, and I don't want to get into how people parent or give any kind of whatever. I just don't think, like, some parents do spank their children. I mean, that's really, I don't know what the laws are everywhere. I don't necessarily think that, spanking your child is abuse. However, I do think that hitting somebody with an object in general probably isn't good.
I agree with Josh on that. It's not how I personally choose to parent, whether autism or not. That's not my choice. But again, people got real caught up in this, and I'm going to show you how some of these narratives built today. That's what we're really looking at. Is I want you guys to be able to pick apart and realize that these narratives in these stories are intentional and they're for content. They're not concerned like they act. They are for content. Now, I do have to give Trevor Lee credit because Trevor Lee was involved, was trying to get the information out about Sebastian being missing. However, again, I still believe that Trevor Lee was taken full advantage of. Like I said earlier today on Granny's, he's a 22-year-old. I have a 22-year-old. I think that's how old he is. That's what they've said, I think. Anyways, he's young. I believe it would be easy to manipulate him with a narrative if Seth was giving him certain information to really paint something in his brain. Now, do I think he overstepped? Absolutely, on multiple parts. But we'll see where he goes from there.
No. And it is abuse. Now, coupling that with Sebastian, and the difficulties that he probably has, I can't imagine a scenario where spanking that child is going to make things better. I'm just going to say that.
Yes. Yeah, or hitting him with a belt to the point that CPS comes to your house.
Yes, correct. But so when I brought up the CPS case, and I had shared this information with you, he did make it seem as though that this was an isolated incident, that there's no CPS that's ever been involved type of thing.
No, he didn't. No, and you tried confronting him on Smileys about that. We'll get into that tomorrow. But no, that's not what he made it sound. He answered your question, and you decided to add your own spin on it.
I mean, that's really what I got out of it. Am I wrong?
No, you and I spoke last night, and that is what you got out of it. That's what it sounded like.
Yeah.
I took away the same thing.
I didn't.
Yeah, I did. And then, so, you know, that is what that is. I know. And he got offended. You know, he's like, you were insinuating. And by the way, I wasn't insinuating. I was just flat out saying how I felt. There was no insinuation.
No,
Okay,
no windows, no bushes, no anything. It was pretty straight up.
Yeah, I was basically like, dude, I mean, I feel like you lied about it. But he says, no, you didn't ask about closed and open, blah, 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 blah.
These men cannot handle a straightforward man. Truthfully, like they can't handle it. It melts their sensitivities.
He did himself a real disservice, and you know, it feels like he's about to reap the whirlwind. You know, like
yes, Jeff. Yes.
I mean, the things that he admitted, maybe he was too honest. I don't know. You know, is there such a thing here? I don't know. I feel like he thinks that he presents it in such a way that it's not that big of a deal. And a matter of fact, it is a big deal. It just certainly is.
Yeah. And the contrast is what gets me. The contrast of him being up there doing that, and Seth, who I know is now in chat, considering it's almost 12-1 over here in Tennessee. But I just want everybody to know that Seth, the man in chat here, is going to be the reason that Sebastian's found. Hope you guys know this man is.
See, and this is why I say Trevor was obviously manipulated.
But out here every single day, boots on the ground, to the point that his feet are blistering, and he's looking for his son, and he won't stop, and I know he won't. So if anybody wants to know who Sebastian's hero is, it's Seth Rogers in the chat. I just have to say it.
Okay. And where I talked to him, we just messaged on Facebook a couple of times, back and forth, and it wasn't anything
KCG, thank you for becoming a member. This is the lab, by the way, from March 20th. I saw you ask who it was. Thank you for the gifted membership, and thank you for becoming a member.
Salacious, or but there was he denied he denied, because I asked him, I said, did you get an invite to Nancy Grace? And he said that neither one of them did. Do you know anything about that, Trevor?
I don't know for certain. I had heard that they denied going on there, but maybe they weren't invited. I can't speak for that for certain.
Yeah, so that maybe that is.
Yeah. Oh, Mr. Tomato. Yeah, I agree. Both things happened, but I think he was fed this narrative that he easily just jumped into. Like, you can see both things happening here. There's still some questions I have about that, but I do think because of his connections to other YouTubers, I think he was more. Hold on.
Maybe he's telling the truth there. Maybe they didn't get invited, because I told him, I said, turning down national press is a big problem. It's a major, major problem.
Oh yeah, it was.
What did Seth say? Seth says he does. You do.
It was.
I mean, you're welcome to come up if you'd like, Seth. I know you probably don't want to, and that's totally fine. But Seth says I do. Are you referring to, if they were invited? Can you speak? Can you tell me if Katie and Christopher were invited? Because he told me that they weren't. So I don't know. I don't know if they were or not. But it's just pretty terrible. He didn't do himself. Oh, okay. Oh, wow. Interesting.
Huh.
Wow, that's interesting. They only wanted to speak with Katie and I.
That's not interesting. There's nothing interesting about that or nefarious about that. They're the biologic family members. There's nothing interesting.
So did they reach out? Do you know if they reached out to Katie? Because he said that he didn't get a phone call and his wife didn't get a phone call. That's what he said. That's what he said. So I don't know. I don't know if that's true or not. But they only wanted to speak to those two. Wow, that is very interesting. They wanted to circumvent him.
Raising Grace. What I've heard others say is he's 22, but I could be wrong. But that's why I lend more grace to him, because he's my daughter's age, and I probably shouldn't, but I do. It's who I am.
Yeah, well, turning down any kind of national media coverage is just detrimental. It's just not a good look. And how do I get on panel here? I'm going to put, this is for Seth. He's going to come up. You've talked to him before, right?
I've spoken to his family. I've never spoken to Seth directly, but
Yeah, I'll drop this here.
He's never spoken to Seth directly. Let me rewind that. March 20th. He's never spoken to Seth directly.
Talked to him before, right?
I've spoken to his family. I've never spoken to Seth directly, but
yeah. Spoken to his family. I need people to hear that. It wasn't even just Seth reaching out to people. It was family members of Seth reaching out to people. This was March 20th before those, Kim. Yeah. Oh, yeah, Terry. 100% agree. I'm not discounting any of that, y'all. Not discounting that. I'm just factually laying this out because, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, how many of you realize that it was the family members he was talking to? Yeah. Interesting, huh? Mm-hmm.
I'll drop this here.
I've definitely talked.
Anybody wants the timestamp on that? It's 2016 from the lab's March 20th video, or about the 20-minute mark.
Just family.
Cool. Okay, Seth, this is for Seth, so I'm gonna drop it in the, there it is. Well, this will be interesting, huh? That's right. Welcome to the lab, Seth. Thank you. Was Chris in the service? I believe Chris was in the service. Yes, I do. I do believe that.
Yes, he was.
All of that's good questions. I don't know who reached out to who. And if you go back to Terry Lynn's video, Terry Lynn was in communication with Nina and Seth's mom, which her interview was before this too. And then 2 days after her interview with Seth, she actually had another interview, and I can't find it anymore, that she had Seth's sister. I don't know if it was a recorded call or she was on the phone with her that she played. She actually had Seth's sister up there too. But if you think of all the moving, something just is off here.
I think his wife was too. I did think it was interesting when he named off like all four of his wives. It was like that Petey Pablo song, Tisha, LaWanda, Tiffany. Remember that? Probably not. You probably don't remember that.
Yeah,
you're like 12.
12.
You're either like 12 or I'm like 60. It's one or the other.
I think it could be somewhere in the middle.
Look at all the 35 plus in the house are giving. You're going, ha, they know. Yeah, you know. We all danced to it at like the 8th grade dance. How you like it? You know what I mean? It's a good song. I'll send it to you.
Steph, are you talking about their ages of their actual relationships? So far what we've heard, if you're just going in order of interviews, in Terry Lynn's interview, Seth admits that he met Katie when she was 12. He was 10 years older, implying that he was 22. But he claims in that one that they didn't start dating until she was 18. Well, we know that there's more factors into this, and we'll get there on some of it. There's just some, I think there will be some clarifications as it goes. In my opinion, she was 100% a minor when relations started.
All right.
Name's Petey Pablo.
Okay.
And we're waiting for Seth, biological father of Sebastian. And I think there he is. Good deal. All right. You can turn your camera off if you'd like. It's not a big deal. Whatever you want to do. How you doing?
Okay. Yeah.
Good to see you.
She did.
Can you hear me?
Tired. Yes, sir, I can.
Good deal, man. Yeah, I know that you've been out searching and doing what you can to figure out what's going on.
Got to do what's got to be done.
Yeah. So did you catch any of the conversation that Smiley had on her show?
I caught some of it.
Yeah. And what stuck out to you there? I mean, was there anything that shocked you?
This is my issue. I'm an adult. All right. And I'm not here to throw anything at Chris or Katie.
You wouldn't say March 20th. He's not here to throw anything at Chris and Katie. What is waterboarding more your style? Since you thought that was hysterical when Betty mentioned that, like, what have you been doing then? Because that's all we've seen you do, and I'm going to show you some more of that.
This needs to be about Sebastian. I don't care about drama.
Mm.
I'm just trying to find my son.
Oh, really?
You know, whether
What
Chris wants to say this or that or whatnot, you know, when when Nancy Grace reached out to me, I asked them to reach out to speak to make sure that they reached out to Katie and Chris, and they told me they just wanted to reach out to the biological parents, and they reached out. And then today, I asked them if they got a hold of Katie, and they said nobody ever returned a call. Now, I don't know if they had the correct number, whatnot. I mean,
Well, I mean, it wouldn't be that hard if you gave them her information. I'm sure they had her number, right?
I don't know the ins and outs of that stuff. I just know what they told me.
Right. Right.
I find it really interesting that they were attempting to paint this narrative that Nancy Grace only wanted Seth and Katie on there and not what?
So were you I know that you've taken some time off of work to search for your son, and you know we all wish you the best, and really hoping that he comes home just safe and sound. Can you kind of tell us, like, not specific areas, but I mean, where are you looking that you think is important to look? And are there places that you want people to look again?
Well, law enforcement is right. If you have a large property with like sheds and stuff, keep checking it. You know, that's private property. I can't go on private property. This is Tennessee that I get shot.
If you are still local to the area, please continue to check your property. It's been 100 days, but Sebastian is still missing. So please still be vigilant. We don't know where he could be at this point in time.
I mean, let's first face it. Everybody got guns. If you own property and animals and stuff, you're going to defend your property.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I know I would.
Sure.
I mean, I know I would probably ask first before I shot somebody walking around, you know, hollering my son's name. But some people aren't
Thank you.
that sociable, I guess.
Sure.
Yeah.
But tomorrow, my plan is Natchez. It's Natchez. How do you say it? Natchez Trace State Park.
Okay.
And that's the interview we saw with JLR. So you can hear right here that this was already scheduled for JLR and him to meet up to film him walking around searching stuff.
You know, because I had heard the search party or the search party talk about that it is possible that he walked outside of the perimeter. I mean, I'm sure you've heard that before.
Listen, I have, and you know, I'm not faulting law enforcement. I'm not faulting that they did a wonderful job. They got so many agencies in. They had horses.
All right. You hear that? March 20th, law enforcement did a great job. Make sure you're listening.
I mean, Lord, they had more horses than I've seen in a long time. I know that they brought in like 12 dogs. I mean, people
Admitting that he knows that there was 12 dogs there by the 20th of March.
were out there looking for my son, and I appreciate it. But at the same time, one second.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm operating 2 phones right now.
No problem.
Why would you have 2 phones that you're operating? Oh, I guess one that you're on and one that you're okay.
All right.
We're low key.
Interesting to me that he had 2 phones though.
I got my phone that I use, and then I have another one that I use at home.
Oh,
Just-
okay. Yeah, gotcha. Gotcha.
Because-
And by the way, I want to say this really fast. I'm not trying to.
Isn't that interesting that that's unnecessary information about 2 different phones? Why did he have to give more information about that? I mean, if you're picking up details, that's unnecessary details about the phone, a house phone and a cell phone, right? Oh, well, it's basically 2 phones, but why give unnecessary details?
Pit you against them. I promise. That's not the point of this. I just found some of the stuff that he said tonight interesting. And kind of, troubling in a way, but that I can't prove anything, I can't say anything for sure of anything. So
Well,
I promise you, I'm not trying to pit you against them.
Whatever Chris said, he's already said.
Sure.
Whatever I said, I've already said. It's in the past.
Mm-hmm.
And, tomorrow's another day. I want people out there looking for my son. I went on Nancy Grace because I know it's national. I know that they're going to be on the same channel as, what's that guy's name? Dr. Phil, so it's national. It's hitting coast to coast, anybody that's going to watch it. I want everybody to know who my son is. So if they see him, they can call 911. There was just this week, thing came in off of Facebook. My sister turned around and sent it to me, and it was over in Lebanon, Tennessee. Somebody saw somebody that looked like Sebastian. I turned around and called their PD because she stated she called 911. I called them. They had no clue who my son was. And this is another police department. If the police departments aren't communicating or they're not seeing who's on the Amber Alert, then how do I know that my next door neighbor even knows?
Sure. No, I get that. There's a lot of people that don't pay attention to the news and stuff. But law enforcement should. I mean, you would think, obviously.
And he just said law enforcement was doing a great job talking about Sumner County. And again, you guys, I don't find it odd about having 2 phones at all. There's like 15 different it's good to see you. I don't find it odd. I just find that that's something they would have said about, oh, they have 2 phones. Oh my God, Chris has 2 phones. God forbid he has a work phone and then a cell phone. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't find it odd that anybody has 2 phones, truthfully.
I mean, I'm just as guilty as the rest of them. I don't even watch TV. I don't have social media.
This bothers me, and it has all along, and I'm going to be honest about it. Why in every fucking interview does he need to say he doesn't have social media? YouTube social media, dude. Obviously, you have some sort of social media. You were on it for a long time.
If I don't hear it on the radio between I leave my house to I show up at work, I work 12-hour days.
That's what I was going to ask. You work those 12-hour shifts. Yeah, those are long.
Between 12 and 16 hours, because sometimes you got to stay over because we're shorthanded. If anybody's looking for a job and you got a clean record, apply. Believe me, it's for everybody.
Right. So tomorrow you're going to search the national park.
JLR. That's when him and JLR filmed their stuff. Anyways, one question to you guys. Do you guys consider Discord social media? Just questioning. Just wondering for my own personal knowledge. Do you guys consider Discord social media?
Have you found anything that indicates of anything of substance? I mean, you don't have to tell us what it is, but I mean, are your searches?
Roberta, this is an old interview. We're going back through all of his interviews. So this is actually from March 20th. In line, this goes before the JLR one we watched last time. So this is March 20th. And then the one we watched in part 6 was actually from the 21st, 22nd.
Yielding anything right now?
No.
Yeah.
It's not. But my search isn't going to yield anything until I find my son.
Sure. Sure.
Why I won't stop.
Look, man, I've followed this from kind of the beginning, and I have no doubt that you will find your son and that you'll be the reason. I truly think that. I mean, you know, it's terrible what's going on, you know, and tell me about him coming to live with you. I mean, so this was just a mutually agreed thing, and he was aware that it was happening. I mean, did he talk about it a lot with you?
Well, you know how Chris said, you know, shoulda, woulda, coulda. Hindsight's 2020. He was supposed to come live with me last year.
All right. Everybody got your listening ears on? If you haven't seen this before, here's where some of this has been misconstrued.
Oh, okay.
But I gave my son another chance to straighten his behavior up and actually apply himself at school, which he is fully capable of.
He gave him another chance. So Sebastian was supposed to go stay with Seth previously. But listen to what he's implying here. He's fully capable.
But and he's straightened up some, but he's still coming. He's already registered for school up here.
He's straightened up some.
Oh, okay.
You know, I want him here. He wants to be here. You know,
could that have any? I mean, could this have any bearing on him going missing? I mean, is it possible that he wanted to be with you, so he ran away and got lost, possibly?
See, and that's what I don't think so, because he didn't leave with his phone. He didn't attempt to call me. You know, his godparents live up in Clarksville too, and he has their phone number.
Okay, but in all of the parts that we've done before, Terry Lynn's, Pascal's, what was the other one we did? My brain just blinked out. JLR's. He has used the terms he left, he left, he left. So now we get to the point that he's saying he doesn't think that's what happened.
He could have called them. He could have called and reached out for me, but he also knows that on the weekends that he's with his mom, I'm at work.
Yes.
Because those are the days I work Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Yes.
And forgive me, you know, and if I don't ask the question properly, because I don't know Sebastian, but you know, there was said that he,
yes,
you know, had his own money, phone, glasses. Would he have known to take all that stuff if he was leaving? I mean, he wouldn't have left. Would he? I don't want to say he wouldn't.
And that's misrepresenting the truth too. So his glasses were not found. So they are assumed to potentially be with Sebastian. So just so everybody's clear on that too. They're assuming that he has his glasses.
Now, would he have left barefoot under any circumstances that you can think of?
Not that I can think of.
Yeah.
So if he was running away, he probably would have taken his backpack. He would have taken his Switch. He would have taken his games because he likes to play video games. He would have taken toys because his toys are, you know, they're his.
Sure.
He probably would have taken his phone too. I mean,
and he could dial his phone to you right away. He could take his phone and call you. There was a direct line there.
Yeah, at any point in time when I called, it's like somebody mentioned that I had to call Chris to talk to Sebastian. No.
Okay.
I've called Sebastian's phone. If he doesn't answer, then I will call, because sometimes you got to rush out the door. He doesn't have his phone on him.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Hey, I need to go to the store. Come on, let's go. Get to the truck. You're like, you got your phone on you? No,
Yes.
you're supposed to have it on you. You know, here it's go get your phone then.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
if I'm just running to the store to pick up some stuff, a gallon of milk or whatever I'm picking up, it's like, don't worry about it. I have my phone.
Was he able to stay home alone?
He was responsible enough. He stayed home alone during break.
He was responsible enough. Here's another big piece I need people to understand, because in one of the upcoming interviews that we watch with Seth, he's going to compare him to a 10-year-old. But you just heard him state he was responsible and he stayed home during break. Okay.
Yeah, he's 15. I mean, yeah.
15, physically, mentally, not so much.
Yeah,
But
what would you say? Because obviously you know him.
By the way, mods, I just took Green Eyes out of here. I don't fuck with people that go around calling my friends' husbands P words and doxing people. So Green Eyes, you're not welcome around me, anybody I care about, nobody. You are an absolute disaster and should be ashamed of yourself, because you went into Clue and Cletus's chat the other night while Chris was on panel and made some stupid remark trolling them while Chris, the step parent, the parent of a missing child, was on panel saying that XYZ was going to join panel and they had Sebastian. You're a sick fuck, by the way, Green Eyes. And my name is Becky. I've been fully doxxed. I'm not fucking scared of you. You might be scared of law enforcement, though. You probably should be.
As well as better than anybody. I've heard conflicting reports, so that's why it's really nice to talk to you. And I appreciate you taking the time to talk to us.
yeah, because this is cutting into my sleep.
I bet it is, and I'm sorry about that.
And by the way, those of you that mod for other creators, I would let them know about Green Eyes. And if they need screenshots to prove that he was calling one of my friend's husbands a P word, I've got him. So there's that.
You're welcome to bounce out anytime.
It's I know I have to get some sleep if
Sure.
I'm gonna that tomorrow. That's a big.
We don't want to interrupt that, honestly.
I mean, that's a big part. So if anybody wants to come help me, my goal is to be up probably by 5 and be out there. It's about an hour and a half from where I live.
So, so in what park again was that?
Natchez Trace State Park.
I got him.
And if there's anybody out there watching this, and this will reach a few thousand people before morning, and we do have a Tennessee audience, in the house for sure. If you guys can help, if you're able to go and help, please do. That's really the best thing is if you can help search, please do. And so you don't think that he would have ran away? Had he ever talked about running away?
No.
Never passing, never been upset. Go, yeah, no, nothing. Wow. Okay.
I mean, I can tell you things, but those are personal.
I understand.
He is a child.
So we start off on March 20th. I could tell you things, but those are personal. He's a child, acknowledging that he doesn't need to give all this information out.
All right. He is 15. He is not an adult. He's got a good another 10 years. So, I would classify him as, what's the word I'm looking for? Scientifically mature.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
A 25-year-old man is what he's considering scientifically mature. Okay. That even bothers me more considering you were 22 with the, yeah. Okay. Never.
Finished developing around 24 to 26 for males. So, he's got a while to go. I know how it goes for me. I mean, everything that my mom and dad told me, when I hit 24, 25, things started clicking really, like, oh, that's why they said not to do this. Oh, that's why they said to do this. Like, I kick myself every day for not listening to my parents when I was younger.
Right.
But again, that's hindsight's 2020.
Right.
Huh.
And he's your only child, correct?
Yes, sir.
So at any point, so is it, I did find this a little odd, and maybe you can clear this up for us as well. Did you find it strange that you just got a text message saying call me 911 or something like that? Or is it because you were at work that they didn't know that they could get a hold of you? Because there could be a rational explanation for that, I guess.
I told them that they could call and speak to my captain at any point in time, because when I'm in jail, I can't have my cell phone. They know this.
Oh, okay.
But
I got you.
was call and ask to speak to either the lieutenant or the captain on duty, or even the sergeant's office. They would have came and got me. That, I mean, that's family. And a lot of my sergeants.
Hold on. Kiki gave us another tab. Hold on. Kiki's up here pushing buttons. Hold on, people. Kiki came in hot and ended up duplicating the stream somehow. Okay, here we go. Sorry about that.
Are pro family. I mean, I took a leave of absence, and they granted.
Was there a delay in getting
So he took a leave of absence.
hold of you because of that?
Nobody knew anything. So I didn't get that message till I got to my truck. So at about 7:20 is when I got to my truck, and I saw the missed call and a text message, and I immediately called Chris back.
And under the okay.
We don't live in a perfect world.
No,
It's
we
not
don't.
what it would have been, but it's the way it is.
It's the way that it is. I mean, there's no changing it now.
Lakota, factually speaking, there's been zero proof that anybody has been asked for money for interviews. No proof shown. That rumor has no substance to it yet that I've seen. We have not seen proof of anybody paying for an interview with Seth. There's been one post by somebody that's completely zero credibility, in my opinion, and then some Facebook comments about it. Otherwise, there's been zero proof that anybody has been asked to pay Seth for interviews.
His glasses, how dependent on those is he?
Yes, I can rewind it.
Perfect world.
No,
It's
we
not
don't.
what it would have been, but it's the way it is.
It's the way that it is. I mean, there's no changing it now. His glasses, how dependent on those is he?
He puts them on as soon as he gets up out of bed.
Jeez, yeah, okay, yep.
I mean, look at Dad.
Look, man, I'm supposed to wear them too. I got mine right here, but
Yes, and Tony did say that that's not factual, but I also don't believe anything Tony says either. So there's that too. Like, I don't believe anybody anymore.
I don't know. I got the stigmatism. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got to get that close for this to be clear, dude, without my glasses.
Yeah.
But
Oh, okay.
with my glasses, I got 15-20 vision.
Yeah.
So he wouldn't leave without his glasses.
No.
And he didn't leave with his glasses, correct? Is that what we're being told?
Yeah.
I thought he left with his glasses. I thought he had his glasses on. If that's something new, then I didn't know about it.
Trevor.
Yes.
Tell me about the glasses. Did he have the glasses?
It's been reported since the beginning that he did have his glasses. Yeah.
And he did. Okay.
No shoes, but yes, the glasses.
Okay. And so he's very dependent on his glasses, that the glasses are gone. Cell phone where was cell phone? At home?
Cell phone was left at the house, at his mom's house.
And but you said that it's possible.
Bree, I know. And then, but factually, he couldn't have been there. Yeah, I know. And he might have just misspoke in that one, but
Possible that he may not have taken it anyway, because sometimes he'd leave it.
Sometimes he forgets it.
Yeah, okay. So that's fair enough.
Normal human thing. How many times have you walked out and had to go back to get your wallet?
I don't know, 7 times today. So that's normal. He's a 15-year-old boy. Can you tell me just, and I'll let you get to bed because I know you have a big day tomorrow, but tell me a little bit about his routine. I mean, what would break his routine? Did he get up in the morning, pour himself some cereal, play some video games? I mean, what would be a typical morning on like a Saturday you had him?
Typical Saturday morning. Normally, I'm the one waking him up. Make a pot of coffee if he didn't already prep it the night before. He's 15, but I'm still his dad.
Yeah.
Like, I'm also the tickle monster. And
I'm super ticklish, so I'm gonna have to
he's 15, but I'm his dad.
stay clear.
so is he. I would go in there and just tickle the piss out of him until he got up, and then it's like, depending on, he's not a morning person from my experience. All right. He don't want to get up. He's a teenager.
Yeah.
He wants to sleep in. But it's like, hey, the longer you sleep, the less time we get to chill and hang out.
Sure.
you know, and that was, you know, he would start, you know, and then I'd tickle the shit out of him.
Yeah. I used to do that to my
KCG, I have no idea on that. I don't know. I just know this person has been problematic. What he did in Clues the other night, and then what he's been doing to other people, other creators. Yeah. He hangs out over at Slimies a lot.
my oldest son, because when he got really tall, his feet started to hang off the bed a little bit. I actually had to get custom beds made for them at one point because they're both so tall, but I would, in the morning, I'd tickle his feet. I mean, he would just kick like a mule, man. And he got me one time real good. I had it coming, to be fair. So I get it. That makes him up. Yeah.
But, I mean, I'd tickle him until he got up, and if he was giving me any type of grief or I want to sleep in, I'd be like, smell that? And most of the time he'd be like, Dad, why'd you do that? And I'm like, I'm talking about the coffee, son.
Not crop dusting them.
Yeah, pretty much. You know, no dust happened this morning. I'm trying to wake you up, not pass you out. Okay, come on. You know, and I mean, get up, and then it's like I've started with teaching him how to cook. So most of the time it's, what do you want for breakfast? You know, and he's like, I don't know. And I'm like, you want wind put in rabbit traps? No, Dad, nothing.
Seth, I do want, yes, please post Seth's GoFundMe in the chat, please. We 100% support what he's doing. So
they 100% support the fact that he started a GoFundMe 3 days after the child went missing. Why 3 days in would there be a necessary reason to start a GoFundMe if you didn't know what had happened and were hopeful that he could be found any point in time? B, you took a leave of absence from work, but your coworkers donated PTO time to you. But they fully support it, right? Okay.
We're gonna do that for you because I think you need all the help you can get right now, my friend.
I appreciate it. I mean, the only thing I ask, I mean, my sister's in charge of that. I don't even look at it. I don't even have the link. I don't even have Facebook. I mean, come on.
No, totally. No, I understand. So I believe they do have the link, and they're going to put it up. Amy just asked, so they're going to do that. And so, what you guys bacon or eggs? Were you teaching them how to cook bacon and eggs?
Hey, Rockabit.
That's a staple.
Well, bacon is a staple.
Yep.
Eggs is a staple, but his favorite. I mean, he loves bacon. The boy loves bacon. The boy loves eggs. His favorite thing in the world, last time I knew, was a toasted peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Fire. That's fire.
You know?
I love PB&J, and I like it with the soft bread, but
coffee and a toasted peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I mean, that was my Aunt Sharon's favorite thing. She's the one that turned me onto that when I was like 10, 11, and I turned my son onto it. But bacon, he likes sausage, gravy, and biscuits.
Oh yeah, big time.
I was born and raised in, you know, several places, but I'm Southern at heart, and there's nothing like sweet tea and coffee in the morning and sausage, biscuits, and gravy.
Biscuits and gravy is an absolute winner on every front. So I don't blame the young man because I look, I'm a chunk. I'll just admit it. I love, you know, hey, there's nothing wrong. No shame. You can't fat shame me. People have tried. It's never worked. It's like
I got a pillow. All right. I said I got a pillow. You know, this is 6.
Yes, I think that will be on the Web Sleuths interview. If I'm correct on my interviews, KCG, that'll be coming up in the Web Sleuths one.
In fact, this is a keg. Yep. All right. I come from the party. All right.
Oh man. Yeah. So
I cook. So, and the reason I've got this is because I eat what I cook. I don't have a woman in my life cooking for me. My mom would slap me for that one. But
mention of no female friend at this point in time. Again, March 20th. Not that it matters, but he states that he has no woman on March 20th. I find that important because of this Michaela situation.
It is. I mean, I cook. That boy, it's like trying to put weight on him is like me trying to lose weight.
Well, it's funny, you know, because he was pretty active, right? I mean, I saw some of the videos that you put up of him. And as they eat, it's just fuel to, what grade was he in?
He was in 10th.
10th grade. Yeah. So he's got a, you know,
ninth grade. He's going into 10th grade.
So summertime from a freshman to a sophomore is when kids, boys especially, have a growth spurt. They have one between 7th and 8th grade, and then 10th or 9th and 10th grade. I've noticed, because I have 2 boys. What's
because
that?
that boy would grow. He came over here for a week, and he grew 2 inches, I think.
Oh yeah, no question.
His feet keep growing. Had to buy him new shoes. That's how we knew what shoes were. What he has is because his feet had grown and his shoes were no longer fitting him.
Okay, so there's the answer that everybody's been criticizing Katie for so long, is they knew how many pairs of shoes he had because he was outgrowing his shoes. But people made that into a huge ordeal.
So it's one of those things like right now with your feet growing, you don't want to spend a lot of money.
The GoFundMe was made on February 29th, 2024, 3 days after Sebastian went missing. This is from March 20th, 2024. Sorry, guys. I'm moving around in my chair a lot. My back hurts.
Money on shoes because next month you may not be able to fit into those.
Mhm.
That's my opinion.
No doubt.
I buy a pair of boots. My feet ain't growing no more. I'm good.
I used to tell my boys that all the time. And they're basketball players, so they always was like, I have to have the LeBrons. And it's like, oh my God, you're gonna grow out of them in 3 weeks.
There's your answer to whoever asked about if Josh was a parent. Yes, he is.
Dude,
You want them. You don't have to have them.
yeah, exactly. It's called keeping up with the Joneses. You mentioned your mom, and I know that she's been a little vocal on social media. How is she doing? Is she hanging in there? I'm sure you're in constant contact with her. Is she doing as good as possible, I would assume?
It's affecting her. It's her only grandson, just like it's my only son.
Wow.
It's my own. So,
I understand. Yeah.
pretty emotional.
It's I've never had a child go missing. The closest thing that I can even attest to it is I couldn't get a hold of my son once when he went to the river for about 6 hours, and that was awful. And I could just imagine what you guys are going through is hell on earth. It really is. I mean,
I'd rather go through hell.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I understand. I don't understand, but I do. As somebody that has children, and I feel for you guys, and I feel for the mother, and even Chris. Like sometimes Chris, he doesn't come off well polished, and that could be for a million different reasons. And he feels vilified right now, and I understand that.
Because he was vilified by a ton of lies and misinformation and false narratives that have been painted. But I'll give you a little bit better display of that.
But I feel, look, if he had nothing to do with this, obviously I feel terrible. I feel terrible for everybody involved. It's just a terrible situation.
It is a terrible situation. But
the fact that you're out there, and I know that you're not going to give up. You just I don't know you, but you strike me from everything that I've seen. Your interview with Nick from Channel 5, when I first watched it, it choked me up.
Yeah, but now Nick's the bad guy. Tony was throwing shade at Nick last night too. I won't say because they're my professional, blah, blah. Fucking shut up, short drop, Tony. Did you guys hear Tony say he was 45 years old? Did y'all hear that? I think he's lying about his age.
Because I felt your words, and I felt how upset that you truly were. And you're not the crying type, I can tell. And so I see, I can hear it. I feel the hurt, but I can also feel the love between you and your son. And I just feel very, very, I don't know, man. I wish I had words to, sometimes I feel like a dummy, talking to people like this.
Remy, that's what I said too. I said, there ain't no fucking way, but he said that last night.
Yeah. Trevor, you got anything?
I mean, I'm the same way. So that was just, and I appreciate you coming up. Josh, you've been talking to the past little bit, has been a huge voice for your son. So I'm glad that you're able to come up and talk to us for a little bit.
And
because he doesn't have a voice, I have to be his voice.
Well, look, man, I would want somebody just like you looking for me. Somebody that's just, I mean, you're determined, and one thing that I will say is too, public perception and what people think of you. You don't strike me as the type of guy who cares that much.
Oh,
I don't know how I should take that.
In a good way, because I don't really care what people think either. But you know, I don't want, you know, it's just, I wouldn't take it in a bad way. I'm just saying that you're focused on finding your son, you know, everything else is second or even, you know, third.
Interestingly,
You know,
it's really interesting to me that there's no proof of him searching after the stuff with JLR that comes up in the next couple days after this. There's just no proof of him out there searching.
so it's not an insult by any means.
Well, no, I don't know how to take it. I wasn't trying to be controversial or anything. I don't know how to take the, you know, I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, no, I understand that.
It's like I've told my son, in this world, the only thing you can control is yourself. You can control how you react, and you can control how you act. And if you control those two things, you're doing good.
I got to tell you,
Tony said he was 45. Tony said that on TikTok.
that it for a change, it has been nice to hear about Sebastian and his habits and the things that he does when he's with you. And I'm glad that when you came up here, we were able to talk about him and kind of forego, you know, other things, because the fact of the matter is he's missing, and pointing fingers isn't doing anything. It's just not.
I was always told when you point a finger, there's 3 others pointing at you.
Yeah, you're right. I had to count. It was 3. I did. I'm not even. I was like, 1, 2. I was trying to figure out which way the thumb goes, but you're right.
So it goes forward too.
It goes forward too. I mean, unless you're, you know.
It's okay. Josh has 6 toes on one foot. Catch
That's true. I tried to amputate one once. It didn't go so good. I'm going to let you get to bed. I know that you're tired. It's late, and that you have a search tomorrow.
I have a search until I find him.
It doesn't end until he's found. And like I said, I truly do feel that you're going to find him, and you're going to bring him home, and he's going to come live with you, and you're going to put weight on him, and you're going to eat biscuits and gravy.
Isn't it interesting that right here, right now, they're saying, and he's going to come live with you. You're going to put weight on him.
Oh, you know.
And then when I come stay in Trevor's home, we're going to come hang out with you guys, and we're going to play some Call of Duty mobile.
There we go.
I'm legit.
I'll tell you what, Sebastian's godfather won't play, because I've done a screenshot and showed it to him. I had 147 kills in one match.
Well, then I'm not that legit. But I play. I like
All right. I need Mackenzie up here to tell me if that's a lot or not.
Call of Duty mobile.
Well, I call Seth on my team if that's what we're doing here.
Oh God, yeah.
Sebastian's just as good as I am. So, you know.
What's that?
Sebastian's as good as I am.
I was going to ask you about that really quick. How good is he at video games? Like the games that he loves? Is he just phenomenal?
He is.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
he is. I've literally tried to get him to take this phone that I'm using talking to you right now. And I was like, I told him, I was like, son, I'll wipe it. I'll do a reset. We'll take your Gmail account that you have, and we'll hook it up here. And we'll let you have your own Call of Duty mobile account.
All right. Somebody mentioned that this was just recently brought up. No, the Gmail account information was brought up on March 20th. So if you just take what we have heard so far in this interview, we have learned that he stayed home alone during break. He was high functioning, extremely intelligent, extremely smart at video games, obviously. We've also learned that he was supposed to go stay with Seth before, but Seth gave him more time to work on his behavior, basically, before he could come live with him. Kind of as it almost seems as it was like a punishment of sorts. But he's talking about him in this interview like Sebastian is very, very smart, capable, very well-rounded, typical teen. Very typical teen is what we're getting from this one. And the reason I'm pointing that out is because it drastically changes after this.
No, I don't want it, Dad. I just want to play on yours.
Oh.
Okay. So, you know.
I'm going to back that up so you guys can hear that again, because that's a super important piece that people forgot or might not have even heard.
Sebastian's as good as I am.
I was going to ask you about that really quick. How good is he at video games? Like the games that he loves? Is he just phenomenal?
He is.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
he is. I've literally tried to get him to take this phone that I'm using talking to you right now. I was like, I told him, I was like, son, I'll wipe it. I'll do a reset. we'll take your Gmail account that you have, and we'll hook it up here, and we'll let you have your own Call of Duty mobile account.
That's dope.
No, I don't want it, Dad. I just want to play on yours.
Oh.
Okay. So, because I keep trying to tell you, you have your own account, then I'll have mine, and we could be on the same team. But he would rather play or watch me play. So
Yeah. Wow.
Seth,
That's-
I got
Right.
to ask you, that trophy, that picture of that trophy looks like it's taller than me. I got to ask, what was that for? That's
it was
picture with?
that he was playing at the school.
Awesome. I was gonna say, yeah, that trophy is at least as tall as I am. He's got to have done something for that.
Wait a second. What did he say that trophy was from? I didn't hear that well. Hold on. Let's back that up.
At the school.
Oh, I didn't.
Awesome. I was gonna say, yeah.
Hold on.
Told him, I was like, son, I'll wipe it. I'll do a reset. We'll take your Gmail account that you have, and we'll hook it up here, and we'll let you have your own Call of Duty mobile account.
That's dope.
No, I don't want it, Dad. I just want to play on yours.
Oh.
Okay. So, because I keep trying to tell you, you have your own account, then I'll have mine, and we could be on the same team. But he would rather play or watch me play. So
Yeah. Wow.
Seth, I got
Right.
to ask you, that trophy, that picture of that trophy looks like it's taller than me. I got to ask, what was that for? That's
it was
picture with?
that he was playing at the school.
Awesome. I was gonna say, yeah, that trophy.
It was for something. It's inaudible right there, but it's something from when he was in school. So he obviously had shown a picture of a trophy, and it's something to do with something at schools. Maybe chess. I don't know if he was in chess club or something.
Trophy's at least as tall as I am. He's got to have done something for that.
He was in school. He was playing Plinko chips, I believe, or something.
Plinko chips. Okay.
But it was a game show at school, and that's what he got.
Okay, so he played a game show at school. Okay.
I don't think he got to bring it home though. I think he just got to take his picture with it, and that was it.
Okay.
I gotcha.
That makes sense.
Well, when he comes home and when you find him and he comes and lives with you, I'm sure he will feel different about it then, because I remember my children would say the same thing. I don't need my own account. And then it was like, don't even touch my account anymore, Dad. Don't even click on my profile. It was like, yeah, I have a game saved. It'll mess everything up. There was kind of the little snotty, kid thing, because I suck at most video games, and except PUBG and a little bit of Call of Duty. I'm good at that. I'm okay. I'm not 140 whatever kills good, but that's a lot.
I was down. It was a really good game for me. I mean, on average, one game multiplayer, about 5 to 7 minutes, and 20, 25 kills is what I average.
Can somebody post that again? I didn't see it. Are mods not able to pin a comment to the top if you can? Because I would like to pin that comment.
The GoFundMe?
Yes. What's that?
Are you asking about the GoFundMe?
Yeah.
I've put it in our private chat if you want to drop it and pin it.
Cool. Let me do that right now. Hold on.
Because I had shared it, so I went and grabbed it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
If it was, then I was misinformed. From my understanding, it was at school. But if it wasn't, then I was just misinformed, and my apologies.
About what? The trophy?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That smile. That was a wall-to-wall smile.
So Seth is getting corrected about the trophy in the chat.
That trophy is he was pretty proud of that. So that it's there pinned. I'll also pin it in the comments of this video if there are people that do want to support you. I understand that your sister's one that
Terry, now that you say that, that makes sense, but this totally sounded like a different but now it makes sense that he didn't even know. Yeah.
Started it, and she's the one that's taking care of it. And you're not asking for a thing except for people to show up and help. Look, tell me one more time where you're going to be at tomorrow?
Natchez Trace State Park.
And about what time? And this is East Coast. What time are you?
Jules, for instance, my girls, they have Gmail accounts that are on their Chromebooks, but they are blocked from a lot. Like their Chromebooks are blocked from pretty much everything because it's school property. So I'm not sure on across the board. I can only talk about what theirs are, and the school has them locked down. But I'm sure if that Gmail account, they can log in other places, I'm positive of.
About what time are you going to be there?
I plan on getting up. Well, I planned on getting up at 4, but that was at 10 o'clock. So I'm going to set an alarm for 5. Should put me there about 6:30, 7 o'clock, depending on traffic.
Well, all right. And if there, like I said, if there's anybody in that neighborhood, Seth, thanks for coming up and talking to us, man. I really do respect the class that you handle yourself with, and the determination at the same time to find your son. I mean, it's inspiring to know that Sebastian has you looking for him, and you're not going to stop. And so I'll let you get some sleep with that. I appreciate you coming up and talking to us.
No problem. I appreciate you keeping his face out there. I appreciate everybody doing what they can. And if people can't show up to help me look, if you guys can print flyers, and just every flyer out there is a chance to get 5 more people to see his face. You know, the more people that see his face, the less he can remain a mystery right now.
That's a great point.
He's a mystery, and I need him found.
He's a mystery, and I need him found.
Well, I hope tomorrow is the day. I hope tomorrow's the day, Seth. So thank you. And we hopefully, we'll talk to you soon with some good news.
I appreciate it.
All right,
Thank
man.
you.
Hey, take care, and you have a good night, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's that interview. But we're not done yet. We're going to cram a little bit more in here before the end of the day. These interviews are very intriguing to go back and watch. We're going to continue on. It might take us a while because my schedule's busy, but we will be back tomorrow to put more of them in order and go through them, because I really think it's important to hear their words. We're going to actually do smileys with Chris and Katie, because I think it's really interesting, and throwing in the other side of it so people can see that there hasn't been a change in their story. But I'm going to walk you through a little part here, because Sweetie Pilo has been getting some attention lately. Again, absolutely necessary in my opinion. But I want to show you what she was up to in the beginning that people forget, and how misinformation has actually been spread intentionally. So for many of you that have been following me and following how we talk about the story and the timeline of events and things, I have mentioned, and the chat has mentioned numerous times over here, that when Seth was initially searching, he was getting information from a psychic medium. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the psychic medium has been known all along who was in contact, but some didn't realize this. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. And then I'm going to wrap it up at the end and show you how this misinformation carried through. Again, this is from back, let me tell you the exact date on this. This is from, oh, that's the description. 2 months ago. 2 months ago, the actual date. Where's the actual date? Why isn't it showing me the actual date? Hold on. I'll go look on my phone. Give me a second. All right. I'm going to play this. Huge trigger warning. Massive trigger warning. And please know and understand, this is an older video. These allegations have not been proven to be whatsoever factual. There is nothing behind this, that these are factual allegations whatsoever. Please do not spread them as fact.
The story of the mother, bio mom, and the stepfather I don't believe it. I don't want to
don't-
make accusations.
You don't personally believe it at this point.
I didn't believe it from the beginning.
Okay.
But
Okay.
okay, this is speculation.
This is from March 22nd. March 22nd. So 2 days after Josh's interview, when Seth took panel. 2 days later, this is when JLR and them were out there searching, doing all the B-roll footage, gathering that. Pay attention to what she's about to say and the accusation she's going to throw. And then I'm going to show you one more stream of how this carried through.
Because I don't have 100% clarity. I didn't listen to the recording. The father was waiting to hear from me. He wanted me to call, so I did. And we discussed, and I just told him some things I remembered. And I really felt like he's in no place to hear anything bad. Like,
right.
You know, your son
Would be
is
too much.
deceased. I believe your son is deceased, like that. He's not in that kind of mindset. He really wants to find him alive. I mean, this is a man who literally lived in San Diego, California. He was married to this woman.
All right, here we go. She's about to throw some major allegations. But what Donna is telling you is that she's been in direct contact with Seth. Isn't it ironic that Sweetie was the one that came out with the source of all these allegations against Chris? No, it's not ironic. It was all part of the narrative.
And what he told me was multiple occasions while he was sleeping, this woman would drink. She had severe mood swings. And even before he said that, I asked if she was bipolar, because I was just getting, these vibes. And he said that she's never been diagnosed with that, but her sister has. So if it does run in families, and he was saying she does have severe mood swings, and that he had been like fully sleeping on multiple occasions where she actually attacked him, according to Seth. And yeah, so that she did have a history of.
Look at how giddy Sweetie is. She's just smiling, thinking this misinformation coming directly from Seth is smile worthy, right?
Violence as well. So the stepfather, it sounds like from the chatter, has a history of violence. And according to the bio dad, the stepmother also has a history of violence.
That's
and and he said that
yet ironically, there's no court records to back up that either one of them have violent histories. And that's factual, though.
They were married. She really couldn't deal with Sebastian very well. Now, remember, everything I'm saying is from his perspective, and that's what he's saying. But that
Sweetie Pilo is on the one side, and the Reverend Donna Serafina is on the other. She's a Reverend psychic medium. I mean, blasphemy, truthfully. But if you ask them, she helped solve the Daybell case. Fucking crazy bitches.
She couldn't really deal with the extra complexities of having an autistic child.
Okay.
Because you are doing a lot of giving, and anytime you have a disabled child, it's more work. You spend more time, and they have special needs. That's why they're called special needs, right?
Yeah.
And so, according to the stepfather, she also would drink to excess to the point where, like, she urinate right in their bedroom.
Where was this said? Where was this said? Where was this said? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Just wait.
He said, like, literally get that wasted and be very violent when she was that wasted.
Wow.
So, let's see. He also said, like I told you, so I had said I saw a little scuffle. Like, I didn't see a conspiracy to commit murder, like not like a plan thing, like let's get rid of this kid. More like what Seth told me was that the stepfather, is that Chris, the stepfather?
Yeah. What Seth told me, she misspoke. She meant what Seth told her. She heard this information from Seth, not from Chris. Let's be very clear here. Oh, yeah, Meg, that's what she's saying too. And she's saying that Katie, you know, would get drunk and physically attack Seth because that's what Seth told her. And then Sweetie magically went on to make these hefty allegations against Chris, completely unfounded. But now you see where the source of the misinformation has been pushed all along, Seth.
Yes.
That Chris had told him a couple months ago that their marriage was on the rocks. That
Okay.
Where do you think the rumors started about Chris and Katie having problems in their marriage? Seth.
he no longer wanted to deal with the problems of Sebastian and the problems of his ex-wife and his own problems. Like he was done, and that their marriage might be ending. So Seth has come out publicly and said that Sebastian was due to come live with him. But if you're talking about pressure in the marriage that could contribute to somebody losing their temper, and then like you said, she, according to Seth, she's trained martial arts.
Yeah.
And
That's a lie. That's a lie. But you heard what she said. According to Seth, again, she's sourcing all your rumors for you, friends.
extensively. So she has the ability to cause damage. According to Seth, she's very quick-tempered and has mood swings. Now I don't know if
according to Seth,
still out.
Guess how many views this has? 80,000 views.
Alcohol or later, but this marriage has only been going on a couple of years, and
March 22nd, 2024 on Sweetie Pilo's page.
If I'm hearing Seth correctly, this guy from Tennessee, she met him, they got married, and he wanted to bring her back home to Tennessee. And Seth moved all the way to Tennessee as well because he wants to be in the life of his son. Like he is really attached to Sebastian. And they might both have a little, I don't know if they both have that, I forgot what it's called. It's on the spectrum,
Asperger's.
I don't know if they both have that or if the father,
it's not called that anymore. Catch up.
But he's really, I mean, the stories he told me, stories he told me, he would kind of go into a little like if they did something to Sebastian, they need justice. But then he would move into stories about his son around the campfire and building a fire with him and fishing with him and doing I don't think he said Sebastian really fished much, but it was just like
another huge reminder, please, everybody, do not run with this as fact. There is no factual basis behind any of this. I needed you guys to see the source of this. And she is sourcing it as she goes, according to Seth. And then you take it to current time. Sweetie Pilo was contacted by Seth about this Michaela T-Rev situation just recently. Sweetie Pilo was the one who came out with the anonymous source behind the allegations on Chris Proudfoot on April 9th. No basis behind any of that either. Everything that she's stating here is not factual. These are just completely slanderous rumors and allegations that they painted in their narrative.
Taking him there and just really intense bond with his son.
And if you want to watch the one on the allegations Sweetie Pilo made on Seth, that's my video from April 10th. You can go pull that. It's right in the beginning of it. I go into and I show the details of what she was saying and claiming about Chris too, if you want to see that. I created a Sebastian Rogers correcting misinformation playlist, so it should be pretty easy to find some.
So there's something the stepfather continuously says that drives me insane. Every time the issue comes up of what happened, the stepfather sits there and says, "Oh, I was at work." And it's like, wait a minute. Yeah. Didn't he leave at 4 a.m.?
Well, that is one thing, Donna. From what I understand, he was not in town at that point. According to one of the people I spoke to, the month of February until the 26th at 1 p.m., supposedly he was not around And if I'm incorrect and somebody truly knows the inside details, please let me know in the comments. But that's what I understand, according to somebody I spoke to, and they know the details because they know. That's all I can
Yeah.
say.
Because on
They know, right? Probably family members of Seth, I'm assuming.
interview, wasn't he saying that he left at 4 a.m. to go to work? Didn't he say that?
If that's the case, I haven't heard it, but if that's the case, that's really suspicious.
Oh,
Seriously.
See, I don't know either. I thought he said that, and I was thinking either there's like, so is the last known sighting still on the video camera from the restaurant at 6 p.m.? Is that the last known
The
sighting?
last known sighting is actually Sebastian getting the mail in the evening on Sunday, the night of the 25th.
Where did the fuck did that come out of? No, taking the garbage can to the curb. They can't even get anything right here. They're just throwing shit at the wall and saying, here we go. And this has 80,000 views. And now you wonder why this whole thing of us combating the misinformation, we're getting nowhere, it feels like, because 80,000 people watched this shit and took this as fact.
So yes, he was seen in the restaurant, but then he was also seen outside of his house taking the trash to the street. That's
What time? Do you know what time?
I believe they told me it was between 6 and 8. It was in that window.
Oh, okay. So it was after they came home from the restaurant.
Yes. Yes.
And then see, this is the thing. Autistic children are a lot of work. All right. And
once again, diminishing him to a diagnosis, but you just heard Seth say he was a highly functioning teenager.
My friend across the street from me, so I watched her son grow up across the street from me, and he was autistic. And he was very nice natured, except if he was having a meltdown. And like, they went to a hotel before and he had a meltdown. And so she said, well, I'm going to go get food and bring it back for you. Then I'm not letting you come to the restaurant with the other two children. And so they left to go to the restaurant, which was just across the parking lot. And he threw the hotel room television right out the window. I mean, it's,
wow.
And I have a video she sent of now when the boy is like 20, smashing out her Jeep. And normally he's the nicest kid. Like, I've seen him for years. I've never even, other than from a distance, seen him having a meltdown, but he's always come out. He says hi to me and he seems happy. And, you know, she always would send him back.
Yeah, I frankly don't give a shit about your bullshit. All right. Guess where we're going. Here we go. Quick little reminder of how misinformation spreads when you don't vet your stuff. This is courtesy of Brittany J.
It is because of you all that we have reached this milestone. I'm incredibly generous and thankful, and it means the utmost.
You're incredibly generous.
Everything to me. You just have no idea. I'm very humbled by it. But what I was going to say is, I don't know how Sebastian's dad could get backlash, being that he was nowhere around when this happened. So are we really going to, he is actually out looking for his son.
Just so you know, this is her video from March 24th. And the reason I'm showing this is because Sweetie Pilo's misinformation gets brought into this. But I found it ironic that she is saying that I don't know how anybody could question Seth. Meanwhile, now she's questioning Seth.
He actually is taking off work and he's spending every waking hour looking for a Sebastian. So I can't.
Every waking hour, yet there's been no proof of that. But okay.
I don't understand why anybody is digging into him. Hi, Shelly Ray. Hey, Vertica. Let's see.
Let's fast forward. I just found that ironic because this is where it gets interesting.
In a camper.
Yep. And think about that. None of it makes sense.
Yeah, it was Brooke Richmond. Yep.
Who takes off in a camper when a child is missing?
You stay
Only
home and wait
people
for
with
them to come home?
something to hide.
Only people with something to hide take off in their camper, right? Again, they didn't leave the area until JLR and all the BS harassment that they started receiving.
Mm-hmm. Give me just a second, guys.
We'll give you a
I'm
second.
pulling something up.
I'm thinking Mr. Proudfoot is knowing that the walls are coming crashing down around him, and he's no longer in control. He's finding out the hard way.
Oh,
Well, that and a lot of creators have been talking about next week going out there. I know of 3 of at least,
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
and I kind of think they're scared.
Including our beloved JLR, right? Including
Yeah.
our beloved JLR, right? Of
Yep.
course. He's always on it.
Okay,
our beloved
I
JLR.
want to I need to stress something to y'all.
Good.
I know that it's going around. There's some people criticizing. There are people that are criticizing the way that YouTubers are basically calling out the Proudfoot.
Hmm.
To that, this is what I say. Okay,
Yeah, let's hear it.
regardless if Chris Proudfoot is guilty or not, regardless if Katie Proudfoot is guilty or not,
Oh, okay.
I have a child that's on the spectrum, so I can speak
Oh.
this from 100% experience. Okay,
So she's an expert again. Okay.
no child deserves to be beat with a belt. No child. But this
Again, the verbiage was a pop on the butt with a belt one time, but we've turned it into beatings again.
man has came on, in front of the world, and he has admitted to beating Sebastian with a belt.
Mm-hmm.
We have a man who has came on YouTube and admitted that he is hitting a little autistic child with a belt. There is no defense in that. I'm sorry. If
But what about what Seth did?
you want to defend that, you go right ahead. But
I don't try to micromanage other people's parenting usually.
I can tell you, you can ask any specialist that walks, anybody who is well versed, educated in, working with children or adults even on the spectrum. And I can tell you that is absolute abuse, period. So I don't know how anybody can say that this man.
So it's absolute abuse because some specialist that thinks ma'am, I shouldn't say this because you'll say, oh my God, nonsense, strike me again. But you should probably sit the fuck down. I'm sure you still are though.
Is a decent individual when you're, oh my God, y'all, I'm going to tell you now, we had Jules of Thought up here with us last night. She's got credentials. Okay. She's very educated. She went to school for things, and
For things.
even Jules said what that man is like, that's horrible. You don't do that. You would have to, when it comes to a child that's on the spectrum, using a method of spanking as a way to correct them, I've said this before, you would basically beat that child to death if that's really what you're dependent on.
Interesting, because first and foremost, timeline. I mean, again, you can have your feelings on the parenting thing, but turning it into a one pop on the butt to a beating to a whipping, you've seen how that all goes. They all just sensationalize it more and more. But no matter if they're guilty or not, this is her source and her standard for why they're such terrible people. But CPS was involved, didn't do anything about it. And he was diagnosed in October of 2023. This happened before that. Again,
as a method to correct them, because it will never work. That child will just scream. I'm going to be very frank right now. And I know this is hard to listen to, but that's absolutely how it would be. And I'm sorry. It's disgusting. It is absolutely disgusting. It's indefensible.
indefensible.
So even if he walks away and first of all, no one said the man is guilty. We don't know. We're just pointing out the red flags here. But I can tell you, I would never come on here and defend anyone who comes on YouTube or social media, a social network, and brag about the way that you mistreat a little child on the spectrum.
So they think Chris was bragging.
That's not okay with me.
Interesting.
It's not. He wanted Sebastian to fear him. Yes, D. Smith.
Totally sick. Totally safe.
Absolutely. I mean, anybody is gonna get on whether it's a podcast or TV interview and brag about beating a child on whether they're on the spectrum or not.
Yep.
You're a chump to me.
Right. And
You are a chump to
know
me.
your audience too, right? Like, why would you come on and say that in front of the world? Like, stupid.
Absolutely.
I don't get it.
Well,
Just don't get it.
I want to point something out too.
Oh, please do.
Misha's got the right idea.
Yeah.
We wanted him to know who was in charge. Big man. Yeah, big man.
Give me just a second, guys. Oh my goodness, really? I wonder what this is about. Alma, thank you.
What?
All right, so Alma just sent me something. Listen to this.
What you got, BJ?
This is from Grandma.
Mm-hmm.
As per grandmother, give me just a second, guys. Let me go back to. Thank you, Alma. I love you. She's so great. As per Sebastian's grandmother, all searches for tomorrow are canceled. They will be passing out flyers. I don't know what that's about.
Wow.
But that's interesting.
Let's fast forward a little bit and find another spot here because I've got a couple of screen recordings too, but let me find another spot where she says some more iconic things.
Stress something, she don't.
Oh, here.
I need to stress something, she don't. I know that it's going to.
Okay, let's go right here. Let's go. And we're almost done. Don't worry. I'm not going to torture you a whole lot, but.
And then a little bit later, we went to the bowling alley, a local bowling alley here, and we played games.
Oh, by the way, Brittany, because I know it's hard for you to figure this out. Duchess, you know, the beautiful, wonderful Duchess for the Missing, was the very first interview that Chris and Katie did. The very first. Then it goes Chronicles of Olivia, just factually speaking.
And
then there's also an actual media source in there too.
And this is just Bubba and I, and we went to dinner, just the two of us, and then come home. He took the trash out because that's his chore, and he come in and he was playing in his room until bedtime. And at bedtime, you know, I told him, I said, "Hey, Bubba, it's time to go to bed." And he goes, "Okay, good night, Mom, I love you." And then he said goodnight to his puppies, and he went to bed.
Okay, and walk me through what happened. You said that you were on a phone call, you were on the couch, and then you went to bed at midnight. Walk me through exactly.
Okay, this is a first. Have we heard her refer to him as Bubba?
Nope.
That's
No.
ironic.
Just wait, it gets better.
Why all of a sudden now? Like, I've yet to heard her call him Bubba. That's weird. I mean, it's not weird to have nicknames for your kids, but it's just like we've heard 4 interviews, and this is the first time we're ever hearing Bubba.
Because you played him out of fucking order, you dumbass. Lord help us all.
Right?
And I'm noticing new details. Like, did she say spaghetti pancakes?
Spaghetti pancakes.
And then she did say that they met with family members that day. So that's interesting. I'd be curious to know, you know, because we've heard her say that they went to BJ's, but we didn't hear anything about family members before. This is the first I've heard of that. You know.
Right.
I don't know, Happy Melancholy. She said Google it. Like she was like, Google it. I guess she figured people would say, what the hell is that?
She's called him Bubba all along, y'all. I just found it funny because she's like pissing and moaning over it. We haven't heard that yet. And we've been watching all these interviews. This one is Sebastian Rogers. Let's analyze the inconsistencies between 3 interviews, but she can't even date him correctly. Like, yeah, this is why this is low hanging fruit, but it's super easy.
That is, you are nowhere far from the truth on that, because that is so correct. Sebastian is extremely high functioning. His weakness, he does not have a sense of personal space. They've always been working with him about like a 3-foot rule, because he likes to be right up in your face. Hey, you know, whoa.
He deals with some social and emotional dysregulation issues. Simply put, his emotions or responses don't always appropriately match the situation. And socially, he can be somewhat awkward interacting with others because he doesn't always match, like, I don't know how to say it, right? Like, someone will want to talk about one conversation, but if that's not the subject he's fixating on, he will just railroad over that and go right back to what he's thinking. But at the same time, he's also, for the most part, a pretty happy kid, and he loves being a helper. And
if you have not watched that interview of Duchess's, I highly encourage it, but I'm going to fast forward us to the closing piece that I want you to hear.
Remember where that was at?
Hold on. This is right here. Somebody in her comments.
That Sebastian was seen was at school Friday at 3:30.
So she's stating that the last time, oh, let me back that up one more second. And then I'm going to let this play, but I want you to hear how the misinformation from Sweetie Pilo's stream that you just heard will get carried into this one.
Like, do y'all not, this is driving me nuts. You don't see, I'm not saying that these people did it because we don't know, but this is not the patterns of innocent people. I feel like it's safe to say that.
It's not the patterns of innocent people, and she feels safe saying that.
Yeah, they're just pushing the narrative in everything they say because they're trying to, I mean, they had plenty of time to talk.
KCG, what's on screen is me reviewing Brittany, who's reviewing Duchess.
Get over because I don't think he personally, this happened on Sunday.
I don't think it did either. As a matter of fact, in the Nancy Grace interview with Seth, the last time Sebastian was seen was at school Friday afternoon, unless law enforcement has, confirmed through Katie's family that they indeed were with her and Sebastian Sunday at BJ's. Then the last time that we know of so far that Sebastian was seen was at school Friday at 3:30.
Anybody in the chat remember how early on that the last sighting of Sebastian was taking the trash out? Anybody remember that? Again, this is Brittany's video from March 24th. And on March 24th, she was still trying to say that the last known sighting of him was at the school. I mean, hello. Come on, people.
Yeah, so I was trying to listen to you. Has anybody confirmed that lunch was with the family?
Yeah.
Because I never heard that before. That's the first time tonight I've heard that the family was there.
Too many inconsistencies.
Yeah, they went to the BJ's.
So many inconsistencies. I wonder where the basis of her, but he's lied so much. Well, she can't even track a fucking story correctly. So no wonder why she thinks people lie.
Met the family at BJ's to shop.
Okay, it was BJ's they all met. Okay.
Yeah. Jimmy the Drunk. Thank you for the $4.99.
Yes,
Jimmy the Drunk said for the channel and bartenders everywhere. Well, thank you. Hey, Karma Libra. Thank you so much, Jimmy the Drunk. That appreciate you very much. Read Dolphin's comment. Okay, let me try to. Hi, Hippie Soul. How are you? Dolphin said he said sometime.
That's what Seth said. But law enforcement has never wavered on that video being Sebastian.
He would be sleeping and he would wake up to her physically attacking him. Yes. So, Dolphin, do you remember where that was at? So I can go through that.
Yeah. Do you remember where that was at? Where there was more misinformation spread, so she can go through it and spread it some further?
So for those of you that may not be aware, it is being reported that Seth, Sebastian's bio dad, is actually saying, he's sharing that in his time that he and Katie were in a relationship, Katie would wake him up in the middle of the night, beating him up. And that she would get, I guess this is allegedly, this is according to Seth. According to Seth, allegedly she had a problem with alcohol.
Allegedly, according to Seth.
I don't know. I'll try to dig up and find the sources.
The source was Seth through Reverend Donna Serafina and Sweetie Pilo. You're welcome.
Scroll back up. Okay, can you guys just send it to me? It's hard for me to stop and read chat. It was an interview with Reverend Donna Serafina. Oh, okay. Wow. Okay. Anaya said the Cajun Navy has requested that all searches be canceled so that no one interferes with their search. This Friday's search has been canceled until the Cajun Navy and Seth says otherwise. Okay. So that explains it.
Is that a rumor too that she was a trained MMA fighter? Why did I dream that?
No, somebody said that last night.
Has that been confirmed? Has that been confirmed?
I have not seen confirmation.
And more misinformation from that exact same interview about her being a trained. You see how fast that's done? You see how the misinformation flows through the cycles of the channels and what they take and just run with? It's pretty easy to see. But now you see the trickle down effect. It goes from one channel to another channel to another channel. There is no confirmation of any of this. None of this has ever been proven to be factual. In fact, there is no police records that show that Chris or Katie have ever been physically violent. Sorry, that's just not there.
Okay. She was a trained MMA fighter, but I have absolutely heard it multiple times. So we don't know. All the rumor and speculation, guys, unless we say
Yeah.
that this has officially been confirmed. These are just rumors and speculation.
So let's not spread it further. Let's just continue to spread it. It's just rumors and speculation, but life altering for the people that are being accused of these things.
Because there was someone today who said that they thought they heard over from my channel that Sebastian was locked out of the house. That has never been said.
Listen,
If anything close to that was said, I did say last night in my conversation with Jules that the pull up, along with them saying that he snuck out of the house eating and stuff, made me very much question, is it possible that he was being locked in his room? That's just a question. I'm not saying that
he was just asking a question. Was he locked in his room?
that is, what happened. Just me wondering. Because, Mom just said again, what'd she say? When they come home from the bowling alley and dinner, he spent the rest of the night hanging out in his room. Like, it really makes me question things. That's all. But
teenagers like their space. That's pretty typical.
But I wasn't there. I don't know. None of us know. We all just have to ponder and ask questions.
Ponder and ask questions, right? Well, now you get it. Okay, I think you saw enough. Now you see the trickle-down effect of how this goes. Nothing but misinformation. Absolutely, Kim. It just goes from one to another. And guess where the source of all this misinformation has stemmed? Seth. What up, the pull-up? No, it's not abnormal for teens to hang out in their bedrooms. Not at all. Yeah, Sweetie has really put a lot of misinformation out here, and other people have ran with it. It has been absolutely disgusting. So if you listen to Seth, though, let's take it back to the beginning of this with the lab. What we learned is Sebastian's a typical teenager. He's extremely smart. Seth has 2 phones. He wanted to set up Sebastian's own Gmail account for his own gaming. He wanted to wipe his phone. Sebastian loves eggs and bacon. Sometimes Seth would work late overnight shifts and added hours because they're hiring. If you listen to the interviews this far, Seth has stated up to this point, he left. But then things change, and we're going to get into those tomorrow as things start to change even more. But I wanted to show you guys that it's been admitted that Seth is the source of a lot of their wild rumors, wild speculation about the trouble in the marriage. They admitted to where they heard that. And then you see how it trickles down. And Brittany in the beginning, how dare anybody question Seth? How dare anybody? He's out there working, searching for his son. Why? Why do this shit? It's crazy to me. Do you guys have any questions before we end this tonight? Oh, Debbie, you'll probably be interested in the first hour too. We rewatched the lab. Do you guys have any questions? Is this helpful for you guys to see some of this back and forth? I did not PD. I have not seen mobs today. I have been. Kathy is going live. Yep, Kathy will be live any minute now. If anybody has any questions, let me know. I hope this is, yeah, they have all along, Susie. Absolutely. It is helping. Okay. Oh, she played a clip of my. I don't know how anybody ever thought that was gonna ever. I don't know. People know when I don't like somebody, that doesn't change. Like, if I don't like you, I don't like you. Period. Like, it's just not. It's just doesn't go backwards for me. Oh, thank you so much, Tiffany. Oh my gosh, Kyle's hysterical. Kyle's a great. I'm very lucky. Oh yeah, Kim, absolutely. Oh, thank you all for being here. Whiskey's downstairs. I'll get you whiskey. Rainbow Mom, I'll do a video later for whiskey camera. All right, y'all. Thank you. Wait, what? Wait, F you. Oh, you guys. Duchess, can I correct that? Is that okay if I correct that? That's, by the way, whoever made that video, y'all, you'll call me a do-gooder. Okay. I'm okay with being called a do-gooder. I don't give a fuck what she calls me. She's called me plenty of other things. That's the least harmful. That's not factual. Just so you guys know, there wasn't 4. That's misinformation too. But it's not my story to tell. But I want people to understand I'm not saying that there wasn't relations before she was an adult, but there was not, according to what I know, was not abortions before that. So please take everything you hear about their life with a grain of salt, because you are intentionally being fed so much misinformation. It's only a few seconds long. Georgia, is it about that? Let me look. I probably won't be that mad. Nothing shocks me with these fucking people anymore, honestly. Nothing shocks me. They're all just in a video. Are you fucking kidding me?
Has she been a good mother to Sebastian?
Not in my opinion. This is the 3rd time that it's been an issue. You know, my son's come up missing now under her watch. Time before that, her and Chris let my son get molested and raped in their apartment. And the time before that, I did a well care check because she let a known sex offender who...
Fuck her. Fuck her. No. Georgia, you're right. No. No. I'm sorry. That's no. Yeah, the whole narrative. Thank you, Duchess, for saying that. No. Please, no. Do not take that shit and run with it, y'all. That's not factual information, because what Seth is claiming about the California, no. Katie's the one that made the report, got Sebastian. No, fuck you people. Like, I gotta go before I lose. I'm gonna blow something up today. How dare you? Does she have some sick get off on other people's sexual abuse? Like, Jay for Justice, are you okay? Are you okay? Why do you keep doing this to a 15-year-old child? You're not doing this to his parents. You're doing this to him. You sick fucking... Oh, okay. I'm ending. Y'all, please go join Kathy. I'm sure she'll be much calmer and much more... I'm going to lose my shit. How dare you? You people are disgusting. Like, who does that to a child? I don't give a shit about Seth being on the news. Why repeat it? Why do that? Yeah, Jay for Justice, it's a short. It's in 1 minute, 7 seconds. She is absolutely hurting people. Yep. So she took and clipped the news report after all of those allegations came out by Seth, which were not factual about the ages or anything of what happened in California to begin with. And then Pascal wanted to target this person that was the effect. What is wrong with you people? He is a 15-year-old child, and you guys think it's okay to weaponize his trauma and re-victimize Katie. The hatred Jay has for Katie is absolutely wild. To hear her talk about her, she don't know her. She don't know her at all. Yeah, Brianna, I'm going to end because I am so disgusted. She clipped that intentionally to make it. Well, I said what I said about her today to her face. The chicken shit bitch has me blocked. But she also thinks it's acceptable to attempt to reach out to foster families. Wonder how she got that information. Wonder who she actually contacted. Anyways, y'all, have a good night. I will see you guys tomorrow. we'll be back with more interviews and more things going on. And Brittany J, one of your mods, I'm sure, is in my members group. Maybe have them grab you the calendars because they're factual with dates of the interviews. So you might be able to figure out that Duchess was the first interview. I mean, I don't give a fuck about people giving me credit for shit, but if you're factually following a story, maybe you should know and follow the fact that Duchess, advocates for the missing and does damn good work doing it. And she was the first interview. So anyways, good night, y'all. Thanks for letting me vent.